I'll start with a quick introduction. My name is Shrest. I currently work at EY as a data and AI consultant there, and I majorly work as data engineer on Microsoft Fabric these days. Okay, and we have Sudhanshu here. He works as business analyst at New Taste. I'll instead of introducing you, I will keep that to yourself. Maybe can we have a quick introduction from your side?
I'm Mark. I'm currently working at Meta as a staff data scientist, mostly focusing on marketing, at least right now.
Okay.
I used to work like at many companies, I would say,
Yes.
ranges from like TikTok to some startups, and lived and traveled across the world. So yeah, currently based in London.
There has been so much buzz about Meta these days. You must have heard about it. I think they were hiring some employees for $1 million. Uh,
Not me, but yes.
was that actually
Yeah.
true? I mean, are they actually doing something crazy there?
I mean, I don't know, like for for certainty. I mean, I haven't seen like their contracts or something, but I mean, like
Yeah.
many people discuss it and share it. So yeah, I believe that's kind of true.
So I will just start with that from where you exactly are and how you got into data science. This.
It started a long time ago. I attended my university at like 2007. So obviously, like I didn't know about data science, machine learning, and all of it. So my degree was kind of industrial logistics. So it covered like some math, some business challenges, but obviously nothing too deep into like data science. At that period of time, there were different roles that were on hype, and it wasn't like software engineers or like data scientists. It was like some just managers, some economists, and something like that. So, and I was like, yeah, okay, maybe I should, you know, follow the suit, go to something like that. When I started looking for a job, I found, I would say, for me, it was like a great foundation from my current perspective. So I started working as VBA developer. After that, I ended up with like sales analytics. It's more related to like data perspective, to like statistics and stuff. But still, it was like sales analytics. So you just I don't know, building some dashboards, measuring some means, medians, whatever. I came across YouTube videos from Stanford, from Andrew Ng. Yeah, so
Yep.
from, I mean, at that period of time, it looked pretty old, and then I started watching, and I was like, "That's really interesting. Like, I should dive more." And like, I mean, obviously, I had some math foundation, but not like pretty solid. So yeah, I couldn't like just digest these lectures. So I just read different books, other lectures, just trying to understand like every word that he was saying at that moment. So it took me like I don't know, maybe 3, 4, 5 months like to get this kind of foundation. Then people started to talk about like data science, like machine learning, all these models, like regressions, recommendation models, and all of it. And I was like, okay, let's try to find something. So I ended up just in some random bank, and it wasn't also about like, to be honest, data science. I mean, because so you can imagine there is like a lot of red tape, bureaucracy, and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right.
there is also like one kind of rumor. I don't know if it's true, but at the bank that I used to work, there was one guy who was hired, and then he left our company. I don't know, 5 months later, and still he didn't get his laptop. He was waiting for this, but then he didn't get it. But still, he was working for 5 months. I mean, that's like literally how it used to be. Um, yeah. So after this bank, moved to Home Credit Bank. So Home Credit Bank is like international Czech Republic bank where I worked like for almost 4 years. So my path was pretty, I would say, exponential from just a guy who I would say doesn't understand a lot about how IT works, how systems are integrated, how I should implement this. What are the problems business facing right now. To the team leader. So at the end, my team was roughly about like 9, 10 people, and it was a really great time. So I learned a lot. I impacted, I hope, a lot. After this, I realized like I should try, some kind of startups in some other countries, and that's when I submitted around 600 applications to try to find,
Okay,
something
that's a
related
lot.
to me. Yeah, yeah, it's a lot. So
Yeah,
it was difficult and challenging, to be honest. At that time, I realized that you should have a system, to
yep,
keep up with everything that's going on, because like you just send some application, and that's it.
that's it.
You will never hear from them, and you even forget yourself that you have submitted something. So that's very important to have some system to track everything. So out of this 600 applications, I got two offer, and one from Germany. So it was like mobile gaming company. It was pretty small team. That was the time I realized how startup kind of works. What is marketing? Because and then TikTok reached out to me. I don't know. After 5 months of my application date, I was like, oh really?
Oh,
You didn't forget about me. I was like, okay. I mean, let's try. They shared with me that like it's gonna be like 5 or 6 stages. I was like, there's, I mean, there is no way that I'm gonna pass all these 5, 6 stages. So, but I mean, it's a worst try, right?
Yep.
Uh,
right, right.
yeah. So all the stages, I mean, there were kind of different technical, behavioral, product cases, etc. So, but at the end, I got an offer, and I moved to Ireland to work in trust and safety. So I'd never worked before in trust and safety, integrity industry, and I really encourage, by the way, people to try different domains. So, for example, I have worked in the banking industry, in the insurance, in the gaming, in the socials, in like B2B, and some others. So it really helps you in your new place, for your new company, or like for your own venture, to understand what challenges you can face, how different people overcome them, what are potential approaches. So I really encourage people to do that. Interesting, because it was the first time that I worked in, so it's not corporation, so startup. TikTok is kind of the biggest startup, but I
Yep.
mean, you can imagine there are a lot of
Right,
people. There are
right.
a lot of interactions between like different parts of the world with different peoples. So yeah, that was like my first experience. I mean, I realized that integrity is not my cup of tea. Just because, I mean, whatever model you build, whatever insight you get, if something happens, that's it. I mean, all your metrics, all your models like go down, and I mean, literally, it's not very. At least for me, it wasn't very rewarding.
So
I would say
when you
domain.
talk, yeah. So when you talked about safety and integrity, so what the actual work was as a data scientist there?
I mean, trust and safety or integrity, it's all about detecting bad actors. So bad actors, it literally means bad people, like yeah, who
Okay.
uh, post some bad stuff, comment some bad stuff, etc., etc. So, for example, my main focus was extremism and terrorism. Yeah, so people share a lot of extremism videos on TikTok, and so the idea is to block them, to delete them, to throw their accounts. I mean, it depends, like on many levels and levels. From data perspective, I mean, yeah, first of all, in this exact, I would say, policy, like extremism, terrorism, there's a lot of network effect. So it means like who's ever published it, they're like circle gonna publish it as well, repost it, shares it, etc. So it's also very interesting to understand how you can detect this network, right?
Right.
Like people who share the same, who like the same, etc., etc. Obviously, there are a lot of like tasks about like visualizing, right? Like how many issues we have, how many posters we've detected. A lot of my time I devoted to like manual review. So when you want to review if it's like really, for example, in this case, extremism or not, right? So you have some models,
Right.
but at the end you have to, validate these models, and you have some manual reviewers. And so obviously you can't review every video on TikTok, right? It's impossible. So
Right.
you need to, yeah, you need to somehow like sample them. You need to make sure that they reflect the whole population. And there is a lot of I would say um, process behind this randomization, samplement, etc., etc. Also regarding models, so yeah, I mean, specifically for this domain, there were bespoke machine learning engineers who like developed and implemented into production like the model that were able to detect this contact. But as a data scientist, I also help them in terms of like prototypes, what insights, what features are important, and it all also depends on the country, because in different countries there are different patterns. Even, I mean, in regions obviously, but in countries as well. So there is, I would say, a lot of work that can be done and should be done in this field. Then a year or something after, started interviewing full of companies like Netflix, Google, and Meta. Yeah, I got an offer from Meta for a staff position in marketing where I had never worked before.
So how did you get the offer? Like the a recruiter reached out to you, or you applied and then...
Yeah, I think I applied. Yeah, I believe like TikTok name worked really good. 4 stages. I mean, it can be like 10 even, it can be 2, but 4 section would be included. So it's kind of like coding, pretty simple one. So, Python, SQL, like product case, I guess the most interesting one. It's hard to prepare for this exact question. So you always like explore it. There's always something new. Experimentation, experimentational like section. It can be like statistical, something like that, and behavioral one. Yeah, so just when you sharing, how you do stuff, how you pull off the things, what are the most meaningful projects, etc., etc.
Maybe a quick question. Is your current role a technical one, or you more into management side these days?
Yeah, it's IC role, so it's more a technical one. But I mean, it depends what you mean by manager role, because specifically on senior and staff position, you always manage, stakeholders, perspective, projects, and all of it. But in terms of like people management, no, it's more IC role.
I'll take you back to the question where you mentioned AI integrity, and you mentioned there were some ML models being used. What is the maybe? Can you name something? What's the concept behind those things? Maybe I think it was network analysis or something.
Network analysis, it wasn't like about like ML models mostly. I mean, obviously there are some like clustering analysis
Okay,
that can be done and should be done over there. I mean, your main goal is to detect this cluster of users
right.
who doing some bad stuff, and most of the time it's very small. Like it can be from 5 people to like 2,000, whatever. I mean, so it can be relatively large, but most of the time it's pretty small. So yeah, I mean, cluster analysis, cluster modeling is definitely something. In terms of like detection, like this content, this like bad content depends.
Let's have an example. For example, I have posted a reel that I find it extremist, maybe, right? Now the first thing,
Yeah.
first solution that comes into my mind when I have to detect something here is maybe I can go into video analysis of it, something like maybe getting the text transcription out of it and reading that whether something bad is being said or not. Another one is something that you mentioned, a clustering site, so extracting those embeddings and then doing. How does it work?
Yeah.
Let's say if I've posted a reel, how does it work at the back end?
Just to simplify, I mean, you just posted something, right?
Right.
You don't post it out of nowhere, so you have some history, right?
Right.
So you have some connection. You've posted something before, so let's check what you've posted before, and let's like pre-save this data, like I don't know, if you posted only reels with kitten, with dogs, for like 2 years.
Okay.
What's like the probability that you're gonna post some extra? Not I would say very much. So it's
Right.
just one part of analysis. Then obviously like the analysis of the video itself. So you just get some uh, so you get some, I would say, values out of it, right? Like uh, the main categories of this video. All right, who like liked it or reposted, etc., etc. How
Got
long
it.
it is. I mean, definitely like where you posted, in what country, or I mean, there are a lot of features that can be used to do this. So it's like mostly uh, who's posted it. So the author, it's like the video itself. So it's the history of the author. It's like who they like connected to, who liked it, who shared it, etc., etc. Yeah, and all
Got
about
it.
like your account, like when it was created. Uh, so yeah, and yeah, I mean, obviously, most of the time it's kind of like two staged approach because um, okay, never mind about two staged. Uh, I mean, it also depends like when because at TikTok, I don't know, like in Instagram and other like social, it can be different in terms of like when we detect and what we do, right?
Correct.
So maybe some of them I will check it out when it's published or when it's created, like I know, 2 hours after. And what we're gonna do with it, it's kind of like also more important than that. And also sometimes model is not very confident like about this exact video, so it's also a lot of manual reviewers, at least at my time, who if we're not very confident, yeah, let's double check
You mentioned about implementing DBT recently, I think in Gelato, right? And
in gelato. Yeah,
Gelato. Okay. I think I also read on your LinkedIn that you used to build ETL pipelines, which we generally consider some maybe data engineers work. And I have personally seen among my friends that maybe who are into data science, they do some kind of data engineering automatically. Do you think these two domains have a huge intersection? And if yes, then how should one differentiate itself? I mean, how would a data engineer differentiate itself from data scientist, or a data scientist would differentiate?
I think that data science and data engineering is inherently is a part of each other, so one can't exist without another one.
Correct.
uh, Another aspect of it is like where you're working at the moment, right? If it's like your own small company, if it's a startup, uh, you don't even have time to question it. You're just doing it, right? I
Yes.
mean, you're just kind of alone, or there are just 3 4 people, and that's it. So you don't question it. When we come to kind of like middle sized companies, so it depends. Sometimes if it's like some complex pipelines that should be used for different teams purposes, for general purposes, yeah, it's gonna do like by G team. But if it's like your own pipeline for like some one separate business case, it's easier for you to do it yourself, maybe just with G kind of supervision, right? So they just double check it and that's it, in terms of like performance optimization, etc., etc. So when it comes to like huge corporations like Meta, yeah, obviously, I mean we have a lot of these, and they
Right.
do most of like pipeline work, but kind of the same approach here. So if you have just one, like some small pipeline that you will use only for yourself, or like just for a couple of processes, and you have a data engineer who can double check it after you, yeah, why not? Because you know the context, you know data, so just yeah, it's faster to do it by yourself. So in this, for this, I'm pretty flexible. So the only thing that I'm kind of like not concerned, but uh, I really think it should be done. It's about a GE supervision. So GE should like have the overview of everything that's going on, just to understand how it's going to be in the future. Maybe they can optimize something, maybe they can reuse it, etc., etc. So it should be done. But in terms of like who develop it and who code it, I mean, yeah, it should be pretty flexible.
Got it. I think we were having a call yesterday with one of the data engineers, and he also
Yeah.
shared something similar. He used to work in Amazon as business analyst there, and somehow he got an opportunity to be part of a data engineering team. So he used to build ETL pipelines also. But then
Right.
when he moved to a big corporation itself, I mean Amazon itself a big corporation, then he moved to a
Yeah.
startup and then again to a big corporation. In startup he has to do everything, but when he moved to maybe any other company, he was assigned a particular team and he only needs to do that work only on
Right.
the data
So
engineering.
Difference between startups and corporations. In startups, you don't even question who should do it. In
right.
corporations, you question.
Are you more of a product guy? Because I see from LinkedIn you have more interest toward product analytics, maybe.
Yeah, I would say I have more interest of like product overall, of experimentation, of causal inference, of yeah, these aspects of data science. Yeah, definitely. So that's
Uh,
why I,
y-
I also share most of my contact like on these topics.
you have written in your main bio that causality over correlation advocate. So could you please explain?
There is a current challenge that most people confuse correlation and causation. Um, so correlation can be just random, right? Uh,
Right.
there is a well-known website where you can see the most notorious correlation
Right.
facts,
Right.
like for example, uh, let me remember something. Uh, Number of whatever. So number of some actors movie like per year, and number of people that were killed in some region, whatever. So they definitely correlated because like correlation factor is like kind of pretty high, but it doesn't mean that one leads to another,
Right.
right? And most of the time we are not interested in correlation because it doesn't give us many insights and many thoughts. Yeah, so they are correlated, and like then what? So it doesn't mean that if we affect one of it, it will affect at the same degree another metric or whatever. So that's why causation is the thing that we all should be looking for. So if X, you know, change if X changes Y, that's what we're interested instead of like if X correlates with I. But yeah, most people are confused over it. So yeah, I'm just trying to highlight it as much as possible. And it's also not very easy. So to check to calculate correlation, I mean it's no brain, right? So it's I mean like you have, for example, a couple of metrics. Yeah, just calculate and a Pearson correlation. That's it. So and you have your answer. But to find causation, it's a completely different story.
Right.
Sometimes it's even not possible, maybe. But
Right.
yeah,
Maybe a
I
follow
guess
up question here.
this was the website you are
Spurious
talking
yeah,
about.
correlation.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I have seen it too. So I was trying to search the name. Yeah, it has very absurd and kind of very funny examples and very good
yeah.
examples.
For example, the distance between Saturn and the Moon and bachelor's degrees awarded in physical sciences, and maybe there is like causation in it, but we just need to think about what
Right,
this connection can be. Yeah.
right, right.
you used to work with a lot of statistics in past, and I think you use some of it in your current role also. What is the complexity of statistic that is actually being used in the companies? Maybe like of Meta or TikTok, maybe.
I would say dive deeper into like statistics, and we'll start with just data.
Right.
The challenge of data is like we have a lot of data right now, but sometimes we
Right.
just don't know the quality of this data. We have the same data sets, similar data sets that should be same, but they show some different numbers. So which one we should use? So where it comes from, like just what does it mean, etc., etc. So we have, especially like in corporations, we have a lot of data, but we don't know which one is relevant for us, which one is accurate, which one we should use. And as like data scientist, you will spend a lot of time figuring it out. All right, so like because you just can't get this table and assume it's what you're looking for. Yeah, that's not how it works. Sometimes you have to dive into some ETL pipeline to understand what tables it's coming from, and other aspects. Another thing about statistics that I would like to bring up to the table, it's about like outliers. So outliers is something that most people also confuse, uh, because I know you always, I mean, almost always you can find some outliers,
Right.
but what it actually mean, right? So can you remove them? Can you just analyze them separately? So maybe it's just a segment that you're not interested in. So most people just remove these outliers, but you should really question yourself why, because maybe that's where you derive an impact, right? So maybe it's like high revenue clients, or like high spending users, something like that. So why you should like just remove them? Uh, the Another aspect that also like I would say relates to the first point is like you're doing some analysis, you're measuring some statistics, but it's been a lot of analysis before you, and it's going to be after you. So, and stakeholders also have this kind of bias of previous analysis in
Yes.
the head. So you should think about why you're different or why you're the same, and how you articulate all of it. So I would say it's kind of the biggest challenge. Is like you have a lot of data, you have a lot of analysis, you have a lot of reports, you have a lot of people. So there can be some like statistics from one team and from your team, and maybe they show different numbers. But why? So all of these questions you have to face in your like daily job, and it's what definitely kind of like these big companies is mostly like about. So you're trying to sell like the ship, but there are a lot of like obstacles, or maybe like it's not anchors, but wine, and it's the help, but you don't know it. You should figure it out, to get to your destination. So I would say this is like the difference for big corporations.
Yeah, maybe I'll ask this question in a different way. I'm thinking from
Yeah,
more of a conceptual point of view, because I can see these days that people mention you should know heavy statistics to get into data science or something, right? Maybe you mentioned
yeah.
about outlier detection and mitigation, this being one of the concept. Is there any statistical concept that we use? Like for example, one of them is outlier, and another one could be finding some correlation. uh, are there any more concepts other than these two that we use?
I think we use many. So you should remember that there is also Pareto principle applied. So 80% of of all your analysis, it's about means, medians, some quantiles, and all of it, right? So it's nothing complex. It's about understanding what exactly you're analyzing, and what you will bring to the table with these insights. So I know you check that like I don't know 90 percentile of the users spend $100,
Right.
and mean is like $1. What does it mean? Then you need to dive into
Right.
different segments. You need to understand what it really means, etc., etc. In terms of like statistical concepts, there's like 20 remaining. There is like a lot others, like probability, some this density functions. It's about distance measured. So I mean, A/B testing itself is
You
like a separate kind
you
of
talk more a
statistical.
lot about hypothesis testing and A/B testing in your
Yes.
course, like
Yeah,
whenever you are sharing, right? So
yeah,
what about
yeah. I'm
these
trying to.
concepts, and what kind of like in A/B testing, what kind of method you mostly used, and what's the process of creating hypothesis to checking it out with the data?
Yeah, so the same applies to A/B testing. So let's just start, for example, with multi-armed bandits, right? So many people, learn about it, spend a lot of time on it, but in reality, there are just a few of processes and companies that really apply, use it, apply it, and where you're going to be asked about it.
Right.
So only one time I was asked about like multi-armed bandits, it's like in Netflix, because Netflix has some process that really needs this. So just to to wrap up this like Netflix part. So the biggest disadvantage of multi-arm embeddeds is like it's trying to optimize just one metric, right?
Yeah.
So you can't get other insights and other metrics. You obviously can build some complex metric that's a combination of others, but it's not very useful, I would say. And so on Netflix, when you just open it and check different series, right? There are different thumbnails, like this images
Right.
um, that highlight movies, series, etc. And so in Netflix, so I checked it like on their blog posts. Uh, they use multi-arm bandits for the thumbnails. So they have like 15 thumbnails for different countries that they want like to find the most attractive one, and they just optimize one metric. Is it like conversion to click? So if like I am as a user, click on it, so it's like conversion. That's good. And for these purposes, like for this purpose, when you have a lot of thumbnails, like a lot of images, like 15, 10, 15, and you have just one metric, so it's ideal. So this like multi-embedded is ideal. But as you see, it's pretty niche, so you shouldn't like devote a lot of time to it. In terms of like hypothesis, building, you should understand a bit more about this. So most people think like, yeah, let's apply just t-test, that's it.
Yeah.
And that's like the whole gist of experimentation, but that's not all right. So it's very important to understand that everything starts with hypothesis, and hypothesis is like what you want to change, what you want to measure, and for like what reason. So what you expect. So and it's better to have like some numbers behind it. So what you expect in terms of like impact, etc. At least, I mean, hypothesis should be like quantified from my POV, but from my experience, it's not always the case. So we can like limit it to some degree. So for example, so an example of a good hypothesis is like we want to change this layout to add this red button to the new users because X, Y, Z, and that it would increase the conversion rate by 1%. So all of these aspects, I mean, you should be able to get in terms of like this 1%. There are different approaches to this. Yeah, we can also discuss, but it all starts with that. Without it, just don't go like into like splitting users, like I don't know, just applying t-test for whatever reasons, etc., etc. So um, after this, it comes to like the design of the experiment, and that's like I would say the second most important part, where you set your metrics, like your prime metrics, your quadrille metrics, your secondary metrics. Sometimes, what means success to you? This step is most people overlook. Like, right,
Right.
I know, prime metrics remain the same, right? But some of secondary metrics go up. Is it success or not? So I don't know. Like it's up to you. You need to decide with your like own experience. Sample size, obviously, like MD, like minimum detectable impact, and all of it. Like who's gonna be our uh, target audience? Is it like everyone? Are we gonna start with this country? Is it like Android, whatever? So there can be a lot of parts of it. Also, you need to understand beforehand if like really your metric or like I don't know your region is acceptable for A/B testing. So run some health checks, run AA test, and all of it, and then it will. So you will go to like splitting the users, just checking I don't know sample ratio mismatch, like then apply some I don't know maybe some advanced methods, some like accelerations approaches, etc., etc. So this like technical part of it
Right.
is not
Right.
very. I would say it's important, but it's the easiest part of it. So yeah, you need to have some ideas what you can choose, how you should apply it, but it's the easiest part. So the hardest one is the start, hypothesis and design of the experiment, and also the last step is like decision making, right? So based on everything that you got, what decision you should make and what insights you can get. Because sometimes you will get only insights, not like we want to implement it like for everyone. You just get some insights. Okay, so it works for this users, but not for this one. Maybe we should, I know, readjust or like recreate this feature just for like I know new users. So yeah, at the start and the end, the most complex and the most important parts of your experiment.
How much of work time do you spend in like working with like A/B testing?
So currently, uh,
Yeah.
I devote small portion of my time to A/B testing because right
Okay.
now it's more about marketing and it's more about causal inference. So it's more about geo testing. It's more about like some synthetic controls. It's more about some propensity scoring matching and other approaches to it. So it's less about A/B testing. It's more about other approaches where A/B testing is not feasible.
Do you read
Yeah.
blogs a lot?
Reading, yeah. I mean, I'm reading definitely different corporations' blogs like
Okay.
Netflix, Meta, Google, etc. I'm reading a lot of like LinkedIn creators and stuff. I'm following also
Content creators.
business, business, business creators. I mean, overall, like
Okay.
they also is also content creators, but they also like business creators. So it's something like in between. I don't know. This kind of thing.
What
Yeah.
is the Northstar and Quadrail metrics you mentioned while working in TikTok somewhere? I was checking LinkedIn and it was there in the maybe bio section. Some Northstar and Quadrail metric.
Northstar and Quadrail, it's like they're different for every industry, they're different for every business part of it, for every company, and for every team. All right.
Right.
So uh, sometimes it's just like revenue, like for the most of business part of it. Sometimes it can be like time spent. Sometimes it can be engagement and other aspect of it.
That means these
So
these
for yeah.
sorry, these are the core metrics that the company focuses on majorly. Is that what it means?
Yeah. So North Star metric is kind of like from the naming of it is
Yeah.
like one metric where all like the teams and all the people come
We all
to.
are chasing
Uh,
that.
yes, and trying to like increase or decrease, like depends on the metric. I mean, obviously there is no like North Star metric, one North Star metric in like big large corporations, right? Because if you take I don't know product, if you take integrity, if you take marketing, if you take sales, and if you take I don't know data engineering, they all kind of have their own North Star metric. So it's one met kind of one metric that people trying to chase for.
Right.
Quadrilateral metric, it's something that you just don't want uh, to influence, right? So when you're implementing something or when you just doing your work, you have your North Star metric. I know, for example, sales, right? So for sales, you have like I know number of closed deals or like number of closed deals in terms of absolute money value. And quadrilateral metric is something that you are aware of. You don't want to influence it, and you don't want to make it worse. So in this case, it can be retention of the clients, right? Because you sometimes sales it's not only about new clients, it's also about old clients. So you just promote them with your new product, your old product, and you don't want to like bombard them with all everything you have.
Yep.
So that's why it's kind of quadrilateral metric. So if you do something wrong, and even if like you're increasing your North Star metric, but something going on and your quadrilateral metrics, are going down, that it's something wrong. So you should like adjust your strategy.
On that
Yeah.
note, how should I? Let's say if I'm someone who's looking for a job at Meta, what should be my next goal? How should I go about it?
Yeah, but first of all, it depends like on the level of the position that you're looking for.
Right.
So first of all, you need to build a strategy. So you need to understand what the interview is about, what people are interested in at Meta. Do like some mock interviews, etc., etc. Also work on your CV, polish it, um, make it look good. I would say, and if you can do it, like either reach out to people who've done it already, use some AI stuff, whatever. I mean,
Right.
It's up to you. Use referrals as well. So why not? Anyway, it's better to use referrals. I haven't used them
Right.
for this position, but for others, I've used them. Yeah, they. I mean, it's better than non-referrals. No doubt
Right.
about it. And yeah, so just be ready, and everything is gonna be good. And also, don't like over focus on Meta, because like one company and one interview is like just random.
Right.
Uh, I used to be a semi-professional poker player. So I used to play a lot of poker. I mean, I play right now as well, but not as frequently
Yeah.
as I used to
Okay.
be. And there's one quote there. So there are like tournaments, right, in the poker in the poker industry. When you just pay some money, you play with people, and just up to the winner. So the quote is like, one tournament, it's about 95% of luck and 5% of skill. I mean, because it can. I mean, for one tournament, everything can happen. But for 1,000 tournaments, it's about 95% of skill and 5% of luck. So if you're really like skilled player, you will get to something playing 1,000 tournaments. So same to like job interviews. So one job interview, it's like, okay, not 95, but I would say like 70% of luck and 30% of skill.
Correct.
But if we come to like 100 interviews, it's about 95% of skill and 5% of luck. So that's why you shouldn't over focus on just Meta. So apply to other places as well that like you're interested in, where you find appropriate positions.
Right.
So yeah, that's my message to
Uh,
people.
One question again regarding I believe this is same for TikTok also. So I was just wondering. I think TikTok and Instagram have something. They have very much common, right? For example, they both have reels part here. Are they also same in terms of technology that they use when it comes to this part?
Short videos.
Short form content basically. So when it comes to
Yeah.
technology, are they same or which one is better?
When you think if something is better, you need to clarify like
Right. Right.
what exactly, why exactly they're better, in what metrics, etc. So I can't do it. In terms of technologies, they're different. So
Very
at most,
different.
like yes, at most corporations like Google, Meta, TikTok, Amazon, they have everything built in. So most of the tools built in.
Right.
I mean, so it's not gonna be even BI tool is also built in. So in terms of like technologies themselves, they are different. I guess in terms of like what lie behind these technologies, they're kind of the same, because it's hard to build something completely new if it's like no Hadoop like 15 years ago when it was developed. So yeah, in terms of like technologies, names, etc., it's different. Approach is different, etc. I wouldn't also say that like TikTok and Instagram kind of the same products.
Yeah.
They're competing definitely, but yeah, they're different.
Yes, please,
Because
Siddhant.
of TikTok's success, like in the 2019, 2020, during lockdown, COVID-19. So every other big tech wanted to have something like short content. That's why they tried to push hard. Instagram came up with Reels, and then uh,
Yeah, I think
YouTube,
YouTube
YouTube,
YouTube,
also
YouTube
came. Yeah,
Shorts. Yeah, YouTube Shorts. Google tried to acquire more like indigenous or like small short content platforms from different countries. Like in India, he acquired one or two short content platforms. So, what do you think about it? Like this short content, short form content, especially reels and videos. So, what's your personal opinions on this
maybe
like
I'll
quadrant?
rephrase it. Do you think people are going to watch this episode when it lasts more than 1 hour?
um, it's a good question. I mean, overall, I think people right now and like they tend to watch the short stuff, and it's
Right.
gonna continue. But there is a lot of content, at least on YouTube,
Yes.
because like I I guess only like if we're not talking about podcasts, YouTube is kind of the only platform where you can like publish 2 hours, 3 hours video, right?
Right.
And still, if it's like pretty good one, people still watch it. It's
Right.
easier for people who start in this industry, cranes is short stuff, right?
Right.
But anyway, I would encourage people to try to build something more, I don't know, sustainable is, I guess, not the best word, but something more long term, right? Uh, the reason behind this is like because there's so many like right now short videos, short content, and at least I'm really lacking of like not just long, because even long videos and long content can be like useless, but really useful long content. Yeah, I'm lacking of it right now. Still, there are a lot of it, but yeah, I mean the proportion definitely changes, and it's been changing for like 6, 7, 8 years towards short content. So we'll see. But because I would say the history of the world showed us it's going to be, so we're going to repeat the same kind of achievements and mistakes in the future. So maybe we will come back to the long post like in 10 years. I don't know. We'll see.
Right. Right.
One question here. Maybe it might be a bit controversial also for you. So I believe you must be using some AI tools these days. My question would be,
Yeah.
why is it not the Llama? And are you guys forced to use Llama at Meta, or you use ChatGPT or any other tools? Plus, to add on
Mm.
to this conversation, do you feel that Llama lagged behind when it comes to making it a product than model, something what ChatGPT did or Gemini maybe?
So first of all, yeah, we're not forced, so we can use whatever we'd like. Um, yeah, so it's not like that. Like you should only use Instagram, not YouTube at all, or TikTok. It's not like that. So you're pretty democratic in this for this POV. And for some aspects, like Llama works really good. For some of them, like Gemini, works a lot better. Like for
Do you use
videos or
Llama?
for something like, yeah, I'm using Llama. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, not like like 90% of the time, but yeah, yeah. But I'm using like all of them. Like I'm using Gemini, I'm using ChatGPT, I'm using Llama, I'm using like Claude sometimes
Yes.
for my personal stuff. Uh, Something else, I
DeepSeek.
believe. I don't know. Hmm?
DeepSeek. DeepSeek.
DeepSeek, yeah, yes, DeepSeek, yeah.
I think
So
And you
they
I
heard
mean,
all
about.
they all come into the single tool. Perplexity also.
but yeah, right now, uh, I mean, at least from my perspective, I have different like applications for all of them. Uh, but yeah, I mean, because we have so many tools, we can play around to understand where exactly and what AI model works better, and then choose for this specific domain. Uh, but even like for coding, like sometimes Claude is very bad, sometimes it's like relatively good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
What about
so
this?
I mean that's a good point. That's uh, a good time where we live in, that we have so many tools to choose from. So, yeah.
But
Right.
what do you think
Right.
about the second question? Do you think Llama lagged behind when it comes to building itself a product?
I mean, it's just a different approaches. So we have like ChatGPT,
Yeah.
uh, and we have like Llama is like an open source.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
there are different approaches of open source, for example, as a product. Uh, in the long term, I think open source will eventually prevail. But obviously, like I'm not an expert here, so I don't know. But it's just two different approaches and two different strategy that can work out at the end. But it can be at the end, like, yeah, we'll
When
realize, oh, okay, we haven't
so
got the best one.
okay, you work with marketing basically, marketing
Yep.
team, and also you work with like Facebook Marketplace, or like a separate, like the complete Meta marketing team for that.
So I'm working, let's say, mostly with advertisers and
Hmm.
consumers in terms of like you mentioned the event that
Yep.
you've been to in India, and there are a lot of such events, right?
Correct.
Not only
Right.
for consumers but for advertisers. And the idea is how we measure the impact of it. So we're doing it not just because like we're the best company, but we also want to get something from it. And it can be a lot of things. It can be like, okay, people start to think better about Meta, or people start to use more AI tools, Meta AI tools, or advertisers, I know, spend more money with us, or they just, I know, we get more advertisers, or like our brand, like now looks better, right? So it can be different things, and like yeah, my main, I would say, duty is to measure the impact of it, and I would say adjust our strategy for the future. Because sometimes, I don't know, it may not work. Sometimes it will work really good. So yeah, to figure out, that's why I'm there for.
What do you think about these AI agents these days? Maybe I'll add one more question here. You have worked in multiple sectors. You have worked in banking. You have worked in gaming in
Yep.
last 5 to 10 years, and you have seen this shift in AI. Basically, people moving from AI to ML to AI to Gen AI now, and maybe in future any new technology. What do you think? Was there something common in this adoption process, or have they not fully adopted AI technologies in these sectors yet? For example, banking is something they generally resist to use any AI tools directly, while maybe in gaming they can experiment more, right? What do you think about this?
Yeah. The, I would say I can't name even one industry where AI is adapted to 100% because it's kind of not possible, right?
Correct.
And in some
Right.
domains,
Right.
people do it like more freely. In the banking industry, there are different problems. Like there is bureaucracy, right, red tapes, but there is also like a kind of, we call it like government or central bank control.
Yeah.
And when it's coming to the scoring system, one of the main qualities of it for the bank, it's interpretation. And when it comes to AI, sometimes it's difficult to do this. That's why tree based models or regression models are still widely used there
Correct.
because it's pretty easy to make an interpretation out of it. So let's say, I know, for Mark living in London, we can allow them like £2,000 credit line because of X, Y, and Z, and that's like all. That's everything that we can see. Uh, and yeah, I believe banking system is going to be definitely, and banking industry is going to be the last in terms of adoption, at least for the scoring system. Because
Right.
when it comes to AI and AI agents, I believe, I don't know, so I don't work there, but they use it for data engineering, for software engineering as well. So for software engineering, AI is like widely adopted right
Right.
now, for some ideas generation, for many, many, many aspects. But to incorporate AI into like some critical business processes, it's like a completely different parts of it. Even so in gaming, like many people, we just discussed it like we discussed it like 2 days
Yeah.
ago. We really hope that in GTA 6, that's coming, I guess, next year, I hope they're gonna have like this NPS, so NPS, right? But they're gonna
Right.
be AI based, so they're gonna be like real people, obviously with some limits, because how
Uh,
are you gonna
I
test? Yeah.
I recently like the recent Oscar which happened. There was a movie which won the best animated, and I'm not sure, but I heard that it's completely like AI based movie or something.
Yeah.
And
That's cool.
also like there was a game, I guess in 2023 or somewhere, which was all the players, all the like except the main character, all the other characters were totally AI based. Basically they have been trained on reinforcement learning. They interacted with the environment in the game,
Yeah.
and
I
they
read that.
behaved in the way that no one knows why they behaved or
I
how the
think
game goes.
I think something
Yes.
they did experiment with Minecraft also. I'm not sure. I think
Minecraft.
micro. Yeah.
Yeah. They did this experiment in Minecraft where they just
The
I've never played in Minecraft, so I'm not sure how it
yeah.
works. But all the players
Same
are
here.
AI agents,
Yes.
and they just experiment how they're gonna coordinate with each
They build
other,
their
and
own
that was
government. They claim, right, in the game itself.
yeah. So it's going to be there, but currently we're using AI for some supplementary tasks that just help us to do some business processes, and mostly not doing business process itself. I mean, in most of the time, but we'll see.
Do you use? I mean,
uh,
not exactly. I'm sure you must be using. How does AI actually comes into picture in your role as a data scientist? Is it just for ideation and brainstorming, or is there any of LLMs majorly? Are there any practical usage in your work?
Uh, yeah, AI helps me to free a lot of my time to for the coding, right? Because I mean, I don't know, 2 years ago, I had to Google for some functions. Sometimes I just I forget some syntaxes, and that's it.
right,
Also, sometimes I'm coding in R right now because some like
Okay.
libraries are available in R. I used to code in R, but it was 12 years ago. I don't remember it, and to be honest, I don't want to like spend even a week to remember all of it. So just this prompt like code this, so transform this Python code to R. It's very helpful,
right,
and yeah, all of the aspects really help me as like um, data scientist. Even some visualizations parts, like I know, please add vertical line here, plus add some text over there, etc., etc. Why not? So it really saves me a lot of time in this case. And for idea generation,
Right.
for insights,
yeah,
or for something like that. Obviously, for to summarize some I don't know, articles or even emails, because sometimes you just don't want to spend like 1 hour to go through all the you know all the chain of these emails. So yeah, why not?
Have you tried
okay.
Comet?
Sorry, what?
Have you tried Comet, the AI agentic browser released a few
By
days back?
Perplexity.
Yeah, by Perplexity.
AI comments.
AI browser. It's a
So
browser.
its
Ah,
name is Comet. Comet. Yeah, if you would
cool.
have seen that. Comet.
No, not yet. I will check it
Or
out.
I have tried
Comment
and I
browser.
have stopped.
It's a
So
bit slow, but it works because let's say I used it recently to engage on social media. So I just asked it to write comments on my behalf, and it did almost on 10 to 15 posts for me. But yeah, I think it needs a bit improvement, but it's a good start,
Yeah,
I
I
believe.
believe. I will check it out. No, I haven't used it.
okay.
Yeah,
Sudhanshu, you
now I
had a
remember.
question.
So
Yes, please.
yeah, yeah, it's a normal question, not technical. So like as a data scientist, you are working and you have worked for almost like 5, 7, 8 years now. You are working in this field. So what are some of the movies or shows you would recommend?
Before that, have you watched this show? It's called Social Dilemma. Have you watched that?
Social dilemma. No, what is it?
I think you should give a
Social
watch. You
dilemma.
work at Meta. Definitely, you should watch
You
that.
shouldn't watch movies just because it's kind of data related stuff, but in terms of like you can get something out of it. So like one of my favorite books and movies is like The Godfather. So it's nothing related to
Oh,
like data science and stuff. From like I don't know, from like this perspective, Moneyball is definitely worth watching.
yeah, it's a good one. Yeah,
Uh, I also recommend watching some anime.
So I have few takeaways from this session. I have noted it down. So one of them would be that not all the complex part of statistics is used. It also follows Pareto principle. So all the work that we see in corporate is majorly it's an easy part of statistics. Not easy, I would say, but 80% of it easy, 20% of it is hard. And then second thing is maybe I should focus on Northstar metrics while making sure that I also keep Quadrail metrics in parallel. So my focus should be finding my Northstar metric, and then working towards it.
Yeah, in this aspect, I will reframe it to you should have metrics hierarchy. So you just need to understand
right,
what metrics you have, how one metric depends on another one,
Right.
and that would be enough for like in general. Because when you have it, and for every like experiment or like even analysis, you will understand what's your North Star metric, what's your Quadrail metric, what's your like secondary metric, other one, because it sees this big picture. It's not very easy task to build the metrics hierarchy for the whole company, but at least like for your department, for your team, or for something,
Yeah.
it's feasible.